going to start with Kirk and Christy. If you guys could come on up. Let's give them a big round. Hi, guys. Okay, so with Kirk and Christy, they have actually given back at Case Study 3 times. This is their 3rd time. We've got it up here on the screen. But the thing is that's what we want everyone to do. This is all about real people with real results. You're not here to listen to me. I have been a single family and multifamily passive investor for over a decade now. But it's all about these folks that make it happen. And you guys became members in 2016, and you've kind of been adding to your portfolio right along. So give us a little information about this first screen. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we've been challenge members since 2016. When we came here the first time, I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those deals where I'm going to come in and it's going to look good and then it's not going to go well. And I got here, and what you heard today, we were bought in at that moment, and just decided that we were going to give it a shot and go. And we set a plan, and you'll see how we go as we did it. We did it a little different. Both of us enjoy our jobs, and we want to keep it. We just want to continue having the fun when we do retire. So that's kind of our goal moving forwards.
Well, it's all about options, as you said. You can continue to work if you want, but the thing is, the beauty of it is you don't have to if you don't want to. Now, you had actually gotten inspired. You got inspired to come to Lifestyles because of another person that you knew. How did that come about?
Yes, I work for Walmart. I hadn't figured out, but so I was actually at work one day, and a guy says, "I'm retiring next week," and I said, Why are you retiring? How can you retire? I mean, he was about probably the same age. I'm 56 now, and he was probably the same age. And I said, Bob, how can you retire? And he said, well, let me tell you about it. And he started telling me about Lifestyles. And then I went home and told my sweet wife here, and she said, well, let's go. I said, okay. So we went, and that was it from then on. And he's still retired, and now he's moved to Colorado and bought him a nice house and still moving forward. So.
Well, that's the thing. Create the lifestyle of your dreams as you start going farther and farther. And you're very fortunate to have a wife that was bought in and gave you the A-OK like that, because so many spouses will try to resist because it's a big shift in the way that you've been doing things all your life. So you guys are great for jumping in there. These are your 2 properties that you had already presented at Case Studies. You want to tell us a little bit about these 2 when you got them?
Yes, Moss Hill over here in Arlington was our first one that come from another Lifestyles member, and I believe it was Sam helped me get in that one when we first did, and it was through a blast. I think that's a long time ago, it seems like, but that one has turned out to be really good, and we've had I've changed renters twice in it, I think, but the one thing good about this one, it's close to a school, and we've actually went in and done some rehab in it and made it look a little different. And I lost a renter suddenly for, I don't even remember why, but I was able to I actually got to keep their deposit because they just left. But anyway, I was able to 1 month and rent it the next month, so I never even lost rent out of it. So that was good, and even did a little rehab in the middle of it. That was good. This one here, I can't remember, Lee or somebody helped us get this one, and it's a duplex. And this one's a little different because I've never done anything to the inside of this house. So if you see it, you'll see the rent's a little lower sometimes than others, but I give them an opportunity. I can go in and change it, or we can leave it where it's at, and they say, I'll leave it where it's at. So there's a give and take there. So I help them, they help me.
Yeah, and it's continuous cash flow, right? So, did you have something to say?
Well, he sounds so nice. He should be the Walmart greeter.
I'm too nice sometimes.
He is nice. Now, you guys have been moving right along because there again, everyone in this is going to progress at their own pace. Now, we're going to be here to make sure that we push you to a pace that is absolutely doable, because so many people will say, oh, I just want to dip my toe in the water. No, we're going to push you because you can't get rich slow, right? Yep. So we're going to push you, and then we're going to help you swim. And these guys have done that. They got that first one within, 7 months of joining. Then they got a duplex, so they increased their doors. And then in 2020, you got this little house up in Princeton. Tell us a little bit about this, because you did a wonderful job on it.
Wait, you bought this during the plague?
Oh, yeah.
That didn't scare you at all?
Not at all.
That's because you saw so many people in Walmart.
That's exactly right. So this house was actually attractive to me, but I'll say me, I'm sorry.
Attractive about it when we first saw it.
Oh, that's where the resistance came.
I actually carried her over to this house. This house is only about, we live in McKinney, so this house is only about 25 minutes from our house. So that was kind of nice because most of the rest of them are about an hour. But we went over to this house, and she went through it and said, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible." But after we talked, this is Jarrett Tolbert, Tolbert Handyman, helped me do this rehab, and we went in and did about $25,000 of inside work and a little bit on the exterior, not much at all, and was able to rent the house as soon as. In fact, we had it rented right at the end of when we got through with that. So it was really nice to be able to get done. It's a good one.
So, Christy, now when you go in these dilapidated, awful houses, you go in and you say that looks like money, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he had me working so hard in the front yard of this house.
You're not supposed to do that, by the way.
I think he had an ulterior motive there.
Just to clarify, that was like 3 hours. Just saying.
He's on the couch.
Yeah, you're on the couch again there. I know that one.
No, but we really did like the way it turned out. It was
beautiful.
It was rough beforehand, and then and it turned out really, really well.
Awesome. Does everybody agree it looks beautiful? We're not slumlords here. We're best product, best price, best people. We do it right every time.
And the one thing, when you sent me these photos, I did want to mention, this is not over the top. It's good floor, some decent flooring, a nice little kitchen with good clean appliances, and some nice bright paint. That's what you want to do. You don't want to do too much. So that's a great thing. Let's go over the numbers on this. You were able to get it for $123. It's a pretty good deal. Mm-hmm. And you said it was a $25,000 rehab.
Yes, it was, and we're able to get into it. And I can tell you, look, this house appraised. You can see it doesn't show we had a lot of equity in it, but I don't know if y'all know much about Princeton, yeah. But it has gone up quite a bit, and I've looked it up, and it's a lot more equity in it a year later. In fact, I'm looking at going in, getting a refi on this one, and buying another house, if that tells you anything.
And that's why it's so important to get in the game and start buying now rather than later. Don't sit on the sidelines and wait for a perfect storm or anything like that. We're here to guide you on some good deals and good investment opportunities. Now, we always like to put what you actually went in and ran your numbers at. And so this one, ARV, or the appraised value after you fixed it up, was for $163, verifiable with your appraisal. So that gave you instantly $9,100,000 worth of equity, and then you're cash flowing on that. So here again, if you're putting out that money and then you're getting, $4,000, $4,400 a year, that's a pretty good return, 11% return cash on cash. And then you've got that equity. Anything else about your Princeton property that you'd like to mention?
Well,
have you had the same tenant in the total time?
Oh, I have had the same tenant in this one.
And
yes.
Do you remember how long it took you to get it leased up?
I think we had it leased before I finished rehab. So it was just a month after.
Perfect.
In fact, I think she moved in about 3 weeks after, or 2 weeks after we finished the rehab.
That's how it's supposed to go. Good job. Then you went down to DeSoto. So see, it doesn't have to be just 20 minutes from your house. This can be anywhere a deal works and the numbers work. A house is a house is a house. So you're going to get it. You're going to run your numbers and you're going to make it into a profitable venture. So this one's down in DeSoto. Tell us a little bit about this.
I said, that house is pretty. I've not ever seen it.
That's how you do it.
So this one come to me. I believe Michonne helped me with this one, and this one came to us, and we decided to. As you can see, the rehab looks a little bit similar, correct? So now we've got a plan of how we do it, and your contacts and everybody that we use, and Mr. Carey, which I'm gonna go ahead and give him a shout out. He's helped me a lot with the financial part of it and the loans, because I actually left him off a slide because I had to give him an extra little deal here.
Capital
So I apologize
Concepts.
for that. Capital Concepts.
I want to ask Christy, did you have to work in the yard on this one?
No, I worked in one yard, and that was in Princeton. So I feel like that's my house because I did so much over there. I mean, we went and bought these Indian hawthorn, and we planted them, and we watered, and we pulled up stuff out of the yard, and we packed up all the stuff and took it to the dump.
Wow, Christy, I feel for you.
We actually, when you talk about that, and David talks about this a lot, and I'll remember it every time. Money is time, so time is money. So we don't do a whole lot, but I actually enjoy doing some of that sweat labor every now and then that I don't get to do. So that's why we do a little bit of the outside.
You can still do things that you enjoy as long as it's not taking up time that is otherwise going to slow down your progress of turning this from a liability into an asset. So yeah, those that want to grab a hammer and do their own rehab to save a buck, no, you don't want to do that. In and out, get it done quickly. But if you're out in the front yard planting some Indian hawthorns or whatever you want, then so be it.
Didn't do much good. The freeze kind of took care of those.
Either that or the tenant won't water them correctly. So yeah, you'll learn. Okay. So we've got some really good numbers on this one too. Explain to us a little bit.
Okay. We purchased this one for $183 and did a rehab of right close to $10,000. Closing costs were about $6,000, and the cash out of pocket was $40,000. And this one, I believe, what was how much did it appraise for? Oh, $215. It's at the top. It appraised for $215 after we finished it, so wasn't as much. But now the appraisal on that house is showing quite a bit, and as you can see, that's just February 2021.
And if you can't see the numbers really good there.
Yeah, I can look at
They're big there.
Well, I was just going to mention here, and that's one thing that some people might point out is, okay, this one was a little bit more cash out of pocket, but the thing is that you bought it you didn't put as much risk into a big rehab. $10,000 is pretty much just making it pretty and updating it a little bit. So, you were in and out probably in no time at all.
Oh, absolutely, because we already had a plan, and he was able to start as soon as we started the hard money loan and start and get it done quick. And then by the time, and one of the goals I have when I do hard money is to get out of it as fast as I can. So usually I'm out of it. We're out of it when we almost finish it within the next month. We're into the conventional loan.
Yep, that's the way to do it. But that's it right there. Your capital gains on that is your equity capture, is at 39%. So that $40,000 sitting in the bank was not making you 39%. Now, was it?
Who's okay with a 40% return?
Lori, can I talk about how I was able to buy this house?
Absolutely.
So how we were able to buy this house is I'd looked into I'd actually thought about going in full into multifamily and all, and I actually called Rick Johnson, one of the my mentors, and talked to him, and he said, Kirk, I don't know, these houses are really good. You've got sitting as really good numbers on it. He said, I think you need to look at going into a refi on these houses and pulling the cash out. And I was able to take those first two houses we showed y'all on the first two slides, and I was able to pull out $60,000. So able to buy like 1.5 houses with it. So that was our goal is to build a portfolio, and our goal, I don't know if we put that on there or talked about it. Our goal from the beginning was it wasn't real aggressive, but it was to add one house per year, and we've been able to.
Too slow.
Too slow, I know. It's going to speed up, though.
But you gave yourselves an $18,000 raise.
There you go.
Walmart didn't do that.
No, Walmart didn't do that.
So, we put this slide together to show what all 4 of these properties are. So you got in, you just started getting, I like to liken this to a Monopoly game. You bought a piece of property when you landed on it. You took advantage of the opportunity. You got in there. Now we've shown, I've got the asterisk there, we showed the equity that you had at the time of purchase. But then down at the bottom, we see, well, you've already took $60,000 out of those 2. So you've got to add that in there as well. And they've appreciated in the because you did that in 2020 as well. So we've had another year go by of appreciation. Then your 2 additional ones where you've got that equity capture. And I'm sure the one that you bought in 2020, again, is starting to appreciate. And your tenant's paying down your notes. So you've got a bigger spread between your debt to income on that property. So absolutely. How has Lifestyles Unlimited changed your life?
Oh, it's changed it a lot. I think it gives us an opportunity to see that when we do retire and when we decide we're done working, Christy's a nurse. She works and with the school system, loves it. But when we do retire, we want to continue that same fun that we have going out to wine country, wherever we go, and do the things that we like to do. And we want to be able to enjoy that without having to worry about it.
You've got 4 kids as well, right?
Got 4 kids, and we were able to find this house didn't own the deal, but we were able to find another house because of all this in Mount Pleasant, just through a realtor friend of mine in Mount Pleasant where I used to live, and purchase it. And this is against the policy too, but my daughter is living in it, so this is something separate that we're doing.
That's why we're not showcasing it, Kirk.
But you know what she said? She said, "You know what? I may need to move over here, Dad, pretty soon. Are you okay with that?" I said, "That'd be great, baby. I'm good with that," because it would increase from 1,000 to 1,500.
But here's what we're talking about. It still enabled you, this extra wealth, this extra passive income enabled you to buy that house, even if it's outside of the model. It's something that you wanted to do for yourself and your family, and go ahead and put your daughter in it. That's okay. You had the opportunity to do that because of this. I kind of like the second bullet point there, that you finally got to hire a housekeeper, a landscaper, and get a pool.
That's exactly right. Little stuff that you get tired of doing or you don't do, but it's a luxury to have that. And by doing this, we did have the luxury to add this where we can actually have time to do stuff and with our family and ourselves, and it gives us time back.
So who was on your team? You had mentioned Carrie from Capital Concepts, who is not on the slide here. But also, if I could interrupt real quick first, I want to go back because I think David interrupted me thinking that Rick was sent over to the dark side and left us for good. But I don't think I got to tell you that he is still with Lifestyles. He's going to serve as one of our national mentors to help the folks that are investing nationally, because he's still got lots of properties here. And he's not even living here to take care of them. So that's the way you do it, is live where you want and invest where you want. So, okay, so Rick was your mentor, and continue on there.
Yes, and Sam I've worked with quite a few times, and even he's sold another house when her parents passed away. He was able to sell their house and do that. So that was very helpful. Another thing that you get out of Lifestyles. And then I've used mainly I've used Capital Concepts. I've used some Noble Mortgage and Guarantee Bank, actually out of actually I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. I think it was,
Did you lie to me for your slides?
I think I did. I don't know where I got that from.
I think
that one up,
that's
we'll
that little
skip that
private
one.
bank that you talked about that you were able
Yes.
to go in. So he's making contacts. He's got this building your team thing down. He doesn't even remember.
No.
The other one I wanted to mention on the bottom one, we had property management, and that was filled in with a vendor's name at first. But now you've decided that you are so savvy and your tenants are so great that you really don't need too much to manage. So what are you're doing it your own?
We decided to do it on our own, and it has not been a problem. I had interjected into a couple things with when I did have a property management, and I decided, you know what? It's all about getting your contacts, and the vendor list allows you to do that. I enjoy that part of talking to the renters and doing that. Now, one thing I do personally is, like David said, sometimes I sound too nice. So when I'm searching for a renter, I do go out and have them find that and get that done and pay and go through that process.
Okay. Well, that's good. And that's what you need to do. Just know your own self, know your personality, know what you're good at and what you're not good at, and then farm out what you're not good at and do the rest yourself if you want to save a buck, as long as it's not taking up time from procuring your next deal and moving forward. Awesome. So you guys had already mentioned that you love your jobs. You're going to continue to work and you're going to continue to grow this real estate investment empire. So what are some of the other things here that you're doing?
Just we talked about travel. We've got 2 kids going to college, twins going to college next year. So, that's going to take a little bit. So we continue to have the fun with that and travel a little bit more maybe when we're home alone. So you know how that goes. But and I really want to get into the multifamily owner in the future. But I'm probably not going to get away from the single family also. I enjoy that. And just doing a little bit of both, I think, would be great.
Now, see, I would, and this is probably not going to be polite, but I would tell Kirk and Christy to get their 2 twins that are about to go to college into David's seminar this weekend and teach them how to be real estate investors, go out and get a job after high school, buy up some properties, and then go back to college when they're about 22 and they're self-made millionaires, and then they can pay for their own tuition and take whatever courses they want.
That sounds like a good idea.
Flip it around. Let's flip it around, okay? That college education is going to just rack up a lot of debt at first. So build the wealth first. But that's awesome that you're able to do that for them. Absolutely. Just giving you a hard time. Okay. Hey, do we have any questions online or out here in the audience? Go ahead and raise your hand if we've got some questions. Amber, did you have any here?
It looked like you had new appliances when you were doing those rehabs. That's been kind of a problem lately. Did you have any trouble getting new appliances to do the rehab?
We did not. Actually, Jarrett Tolbert helped me find those also. So, and we were able to find them. Now, I haven't done one since early 2021, so it wasn't a problem at that point. But but it could be a little bit more of a problem now. Yes.
Okay, well, let's give a big round of applause to Kirk and Christy for giving back your 3rd time. Thank you so much.